So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. This is 3 days till summer. We're getting so close. We're going to do a quick review about temperature, and then we're going to talk about putting things in order based on their temperature. We'll talk a little bit more about it in just a second. Let's take a look at this. We talked about this thermometer before, just a quick review. And then we're going to watch a movie with Annie and Moby, and they're going to do another little review on temperature. So remember that things that are cold or cool, those are the things that would be lower on the thermometer. So for instance, cold would be 32 degrees. Okay, this down here would be cold. All right, cool would be things that are a little bit warmer. This one says cool. It's about 60 degrees today, and my kids have jackets on. The sun's not out. So if we were at 60 degrees, we would say that would be cool. 50, 60 degrees, maybe 40. 40 is getting pretty cold though. And then we have warm. Warm's that day. You're just gonna start wearing shorts. You're gonna start wearing sunscreen because it's hot outside. You start playing outside in the water, that kind of thing, going on hikes and things like that. And you're gonna sweat a little bit because it's kind of warm. I would say 70 or 80 degrees, 70 degrees or 80 degrees. We would call that warm. Okay, and then we have hot. Hot means hot. There's no other way to describe hot. Hot is hot. Hot means I need a drink of water. I need to go swimming. Hot is hot. Okay, now in the same way we can have the temperature of the degrees outside, we can order things by temperature too, because some foods are hot or cold. Other things can be hot and cold. So let's talk a little bit about ordering by temperature. That's what it says over there. Order by temperature. So I have some pictures hiding behind that box. I'm going to pull them out, and we're going to think about which one is hot, which one is cold. Okay? All right, here we go. I have two pictures here. Oh, I have an apple. Would we normally think of an apple as being hot? Maybe like hot apple pie, but that's not an apple pie. That's an apple. That might be cool if it's kept inside your house, or cold if it's kept in the refrigerator. So let's see what other picture we have here. Something that we can eat. Oh, I have a hamburger. Okay. Would we think of that hamburger as being hot or cold? Well, hot, right? You have to actually cut cheese on it. It's got to be hot in order to melt the cheese. When it gets cold, it doesn't taste as good, right? Or if it's in the refrigerator, you want to heat it back up. It's much better hot. So this would be hot, and this would be cold. Those are different. Let's talk about things that are made from liquid, or things that you drink. Okay, here I have a picture. Oh, it's a bowl of soup. A bowl of soup. You would not want to drink that bowl of soup if it was cold, right? Ugh. Okay, what else do I have here? I have a glass of milk. Okay, so the liquid in the soup and the liquid in the milk can be hot or cold or even cool. Milk is kept in the refrigerator, so when you go to drink milk, it's going to be cold. Soup is served hot, but if it starts to get cold, you want to make it hot again, right? So foods can also be hot or cold, and we can order them by temperature. This one's cold, this one's hot. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this guy up here by the apple and this guy over here by the soup, because these are things we like to have to be hot. These are things we like to be cold or cool. Okay, now I have 3 pictures, and we're going to put them in order by coldest to not as coldest, coldest to warmest, okay? So, but these are all, they're all similar. Let's see how they're similar, okay? Let's see the pictures. Oh, what's that? My kids love that stuff. Hot chocolate. What kind of temperature is it, right? Hot. I hope so. It's called hot chocolate. It's not called cold chocolate. But this one, what is that? It's ice cream. Ice cream, frozen. Very cold, okay? And I have one more picture. Chocolate milk, okay? They're all 3 forms of chocolate, right? And all of them at some point would be a liquid. This one would be a solid because it's been frozen. All right. So let's see which one would be the coldest. The coldest would be what? Brain freeze. Chocolate ice cream, right? That would be the coldest one. And then cold, not as cold or warmer, although it's really not cold or not warm, is chocolate milk because it's kept in the refrigerator. And then you have hot chocolate. So this would be hot, This would be colder, and this would be coldest. Okay, so we can order our things by temperature. All right, let's take a look and see what Annie and Moby are doing. And they're going to talk to us a little bit about temperature. Some of this we already talked about the other day, but this is a great review about temperature. Get a little closer here, let y'all see a little better.
It's really hot today. What's the temperature, Moby?
He's got such cool gizmos.
What is
in his body.
temperature? The temperature tells you how hot or cold something is. You can use a thermometer to measure the temperature. In some thermometers, a special liquid like mercury or alcohol rises and falls as it gets warmer or cooler. The hotter the temperature, the higher the liquid climbs up the thermometer. The lower the temperature, the lower it goes down on the thermometer. We use thermometers to measure the temperature outside and inside, and to check the temperature of our bodies. We set the temperature on ovens and measure the temperature of food. Temperature is measured in units called degrees. There are a few different temperature scales, including degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius. It's kind of like how you can measure something in inches or in centimeters. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. The symbol for degrees is a tiny circle at the top right corner of the number. The degrees symbol is followed by an F or C, depending on which temperature scale is used. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The temperature of our bodies is usually about 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Unless you have a fever, then it gets hot, right? Hotter temperature.
How do you read a thermometer? Thermometers can be different from each other, so when you use one, look at it carefully. Many thermometers show the temperature in both degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. On some thermometers, the numbers go up by 10. To find the temperature, look at where the red liquid stops on the number line. Let's read the temperature in degrees Celsius. The thermometer shows 10 degrees Celsius. What's the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That might be the temperature on a chilly day in some places.
Cool. That's something we talked about. Cool.
You're right, Moby. It's much hotter here. What's the temperature in degrees Celsius? On this thermometer, there are 5 spaces between the numbers. So you skip count the marks by 2 to get from one number to the next. You can start at 30 and skip count by 2. 32, 34, 36. The temperature is 36 degrees Celsius. What's the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? Start at 90 and skip count the marks by 2.
Is this
92, 94, 96. It's about 36 degrees Celsius or about 96 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot out here. Good idea. Let's cool off with a glass of lemonade. When you measure the temperature, give the thermometer a minute to do its job. After the special liquid stops moving for a bit, you can read the temperature. What's the temperature in degrees Celsius?
that one?
It's about 4 degrees Celsius.
That would be cold.
What's the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. When it's really hot, I like to imagine being in a nice, cool place. Moby, I think this is a little too cold. Brr.
Okay, so that's the end of our lesson on temperature. All right, tomorrow we're going to have one more end of the year review math lesson before we finish out for the school year. Okay, you're all done with your tests now because you took one on Friday. So we're going to go ahead and do another math lesson tomorrow. We're going to do one more lesson tomorrow and we're almost done. Y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later.